Hey, what's up? How you doing?
This is Matthew Childers from Digital Introspect. I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes of this project file I'm working on. This is for the Opulent Temple White Party, and that's going to be at the Regency Ballroom on April 1st. I'll be doing visuals there with Hunter Payne. Thanks, Hunter, for bringing me on. Just to show you the stage, first of all, this is what the actual stage looks like. This is a 3D model of it. You can see this geometry right here in the front. This is going to be at the front of the stage. The DJ will stand just behind that here, and then behind the DJ on the wall we'll have this other projector screen. So this is what the user interface of my file looks like so far. Alright, down here in the lower right hand corner you can see my final output here. So I did make a bunch of custom animations just for this stage, but with this project I still wanted the ability to use other animations, even if they weren't created just for this stage, but I wanted to use them and then make them appear as if they were created just for this stage. Here in the upper left, this is the mixer that I basically use in every project file just to VJ all the clips that I've ever made. So I have all these different libraries. I have my MIDI controller program so that I can hit buttons and I can move through these different libraries and select what I want. I have two different channels, A and B, and then I have a fader between them. Alright, so diving in, you can see here's the mixer. That's where all this stuff happens. Can dive in a little deeper, show you what that looks like. You can see these are all my different libraries of videos. Alright, so going all the way back out, right here you can see my fader between A and B. I'll go ahead and show you how the MIDI data comes in. This is straight into Touch Designer from my MIDI controller. So it's just going to send values of 0 to 127 and then use math to turn it into the numbers that you want. So this was really simple. All I had to do was go from 0 to 127 and convert that to 0 to 1 so that it can control the crossfader with two inputs. So it's just going to be 0 or 1 and fading between it. Alright, going out, this is where the magic happens. Into this container I built called masks, you can see I have all these different modes here. Each of these modes are different filters and masks and effects that are going to give the geometry on the front of the stage a different look. So I'll cycle through a few of them. You can see there's some lighting effects. Now you'll see that there's a light traversing between the left and the right, and that's causing the shadows to move. Here's another lighting effect. Here's another effect that just takes the triangles in the middle and mirrors everything. There's some spotlights. I got some audio reactive stuff that I haven't started working on yet, just barely. I still got 13 days before the show, so that's basically what I'm going to be doing from here on out, is programming all this stuff to react to the audio as it comes in. Here you can see I have an animated mask, but let me go back to this one. Let me find it so I can show you what this one looks like. This one's pretty simple, so it's a good place to start. You see here's my video coming in. Now I made all these different masks, right? Basically I made a mask for every face of the geometry. I have a whole collection of them and I'm using them in various ways to make these different looks. So right here you can see this is just the front, the diamonds that I have masked out, and I'm compositing that with the video that comes in, but in between there I've got another filter on it that basically I have a vertical and horizontal mirror on there. So you can see that these diamonds are composited with the mirrored image, but another part of the stage, the part that goes behind the diamonds, is composited with just a straight video, and that composite is happening here. So that's just a straight video coming in. But then I've composited those diamonds with the effect over the straight video, and that's what gives us this. And so like I was saying, I have all of these different masks here that I've cut up, and in all all of these different modes, I am applying different effects and different filters to different masks arranged in different ways. I think that was legit, what I just said. I'll show you the animated mask. 1, 2, down here. So let's see. So I made this mask in After Effects. And I'm using the same technique, taking my input here and applying different effects along the way and compositing them all together to get this final result. So the way that I'm actually switching between these masks is through my MIDI controller. So like I showed you earlier, here's the MIDI data coming in. For a button, you get a value of either 0 or 1. If you push the button down, you get 1, let go, it's 0. So you can see right here I've selected this one button so I can isolate all the data, and then whenever I hit this button, it's going to fire off these simple scripts that I wrote. Basically what it's doing is when it fires off this script, it's going to change the row index of my selector to 1. So my selector is only going to look at one of those modes at one time, and when I hit the button, it will send that data. So since this button I programmed to be for mode 1, it will send the value 1 and then change it to mode 1. All this stuff you see down here with these LFOs, this is basically just so I can get the LEDs on my MIDI controller, which by the way is an APC40. I want the LEDs on my MIDI controller to change so that way I know which mode is selected when I'm playing live. And so basically you can see all those are just zeros or ones. It's just going to turn the LFO, the particular LFO that I want, on. So then that's going to oscillate between -1 and 1. I apply some math to that, simple, just to go from -1 to 1, convert that to 0 to 1, and then that's going to be sent through MIDI out back to my controller, and it will make the lights rotate hue on that button so I'll know which one is selected. Alright, going out of here, out of masks, I got another container I've labeled FX, and just like you would think, these are all just effects, using basically the same method of masks to make these different effects modes. So here you can see I got a feedback edge. All this stuff is going to be audio reactive. Like I said, I haven't gotten that far yet. That's the last thing I still got to do. And don't mind the collars being screwed up right now. I'll show you, I have a fix for that later down the road. But this is another effects that basically is another feedback that's dragging everything down using a transform. This is just a tunnel effect. This one is a RGB delay. And then I have edge detect without any feedback here at the end. So now all these effects are just for the geometry that goes in front of the DJ. I have a separate effects panel, and this is all for the stuff that goes onto the back screen. So you can see I can put a mirror on everything. I can use some displacement that I have programmed here. Here's another edge detect, but just for the back wall. Then go back here to the user interface. You see I got my fader between A and B, and all that stuff is being mapped to the stage through to the geometry. And there's one of my lighting effects. There's another one. Put some effects on with it. I can rotate the hue of everything, try to get something that looks pretty here. If you want to see more, then make sure you come out to the white party. It's going to be at the Regency Ballroom on April 1st, and make sure you say hi to Di.